All right. What's happening, y'all? Good to get back in the saddle. Back in the saddle again. Today we got Donnie Atkinson, drummer of Atlanta's Whores. And we had a really cool interview there amidst a really cool tour right now with the Wrong band from Miami and Bummer, whose drummer Sam I also spoke to on the podcast. Bummer's from Kansas City. So they got the Atlanta, Kansas City, Miami thing happening with three great bands. Super cool tour. We got to talk about a lot of good stuff from his first impressions of New York City, touring and balance and family life, early John Bonham influences, plus being obsessed with Frank Zappa throughout the 90s. He just kind of tuned everything else out, focused on Frank Zappa's extensive catalog. Literal heavy drum sets, being a country boy at heart, and swinging hammers and swinging sticks. Plus getting comfortable with slow tempos, and a really funny story in hindsight now, probably at the time was a bit of a bummer, but a not so awesome show opening up for the Offspring with his previous band, The Letters Organize. And a whole lot more. So stick around. Here we go, y'all. Crash, bang, boom! Whores! All right, it's fucking crash, bang, boom time. I'm sitting here with Donnie Adkinson of the band Whores, band which I love and am super excited about seeing tonight. How's it going, man?
It's going good.
So tell me a little bit about what's going on. Y'all are amidst a run of shows. Where you at? Where is it going? What's happening?
Yeah, we're doing the U.S. tour for the Gold record, and we're about 2 weeks in, so we're getting close to it.
Where do you go from here?
From here, we have another show here tomorrow night in New York. And then
where y'all playing tomorrow night? Oh, you're doing
Artist.
Double dipping.
Yeah.
Good for you guys. Look at this.
Buffalo. We got a Buffalo, Toronto show, so we're gonna
Sweet.
go up to Canada, do some dates up there, and then the big horseshoe, the big loop-de-loo.
Nice, man.
Back to the dirty South.
There you go, dude. Congratulations on Gold, man. It's a great record. First full length.
Thanks,
I was wondering when it was going to come out, and I dig your playing and the whole sound. I think it's a fucking great sounding record.
Appreciate that, man.
Just real quickly, man, what's going on with this kit of yours that you're playing? You got this older, is that a vintage Ludwig? Is it the...
Yeah, it's a mid-'80s, just
Okay.
a chrome over maple. So
chrome
it's,
over, okay.
It's heavy.
So it's a chrome wrap over actual, so it's maple shells with a chrome wrap.
Yeah, it's actual metal, like chrome wrap. That's how they did it back then. But
So bizarre.
so it literally makes that kit a very heavy kit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the sizes.
Yeah, what is the...
It's a 24-15 rack tom, and then an 18 floor tom.
Nice.
And it's just a standard. I think I have a Ludwig Black Magic snare on there.
Yeah.
So, which I just recently got, and I'm really into. But yeah, like everybody's always asking me, is that a floor tom you're using on the high tom? I'm like, no, not in the 80s. That's a regular.
That's what they called a power tom back in the days.
It's a regular old tom.
That's amazing, man. They sound great, and I actually think, having seen you both live and obviously hearing the record, is that the kit you recorded on in the record?
Yeah.
It sounds like it. Which is
Yeah.
impressive, because I've recorded with Vista Lights, and in hindsight, not the greatest idea. I end up having problems with them after the fact.
Right.
I love Ludwig drums. Like I said, I own my own Vista Light kit, but I thought it was really cool that they managed to capture the sort of natural sonic nature of your kit.
Yeah,
so
and I normally
awesome.
I don't really tune that tight, so I just
Right.
I kind of let them loose, and I don't stifle the bass drum at all.
Yeah, fuck that.
I just let them go.
That's the way to do it.
A lot
man.
of dudes do, but I just cut it loose.
I hear you. I'm with you, man. All the kits growing up, I guess I had like 14-inch bass drums, so I got accustomed to more shallow bass drums, you know, and the sort of immediate resonance of that. Right. And ever since then, I've always been attracted to it, and like all my kits have pretty much had like shallower bass drums. And I love the live kind of sound that you can get if you're willing to try to tune it a little bit and not overly.
Right.
Like I've sometimes you'll play another guy's kit or something like that, and they'll just literally have stacks of pillows and the bass drum,
right.
and you step into it, and there feels not only like there's no rebound, but it's just dead.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess soundmen love that shit. You
Well,
know,
yeah,
a lot
I
of
mean,
times.
let the PA do all the work.
Exactly, exactly. Well, growing up, man, what were you into? What were some of the when did you get your first drum set? How about that?
Well, I wanted a drum set for a long time, so I guess I started around like 8 or 9 years old. Okay. Just kind of, probably even younger than that, just beating on things. But my dad, he had showed me, we used to watch The Song Remains the Same.
Oh, okay.
Just constantly, every day.
Really?
24/7.
Really?
Just
Was your dad a
TV.
drummer or a guitarist or bass?
He was in high school. I mean, he played drums in a band in high school.
Oh, okay.
But he kind of gave it up, and so. But then he was still, into music, of course.
Right.
And he showed me John Bonham, and then as soon as he did that, I just pointed at the TV and I said, "That's what I want to do."
That's amazing.
That's exactly what I want to do.
No shit?
Is do that. Yeah.
Wow.
So from then on out, but they weren't right off like, you still can't have a drum set.
Right. So your dad didn't have any drums left over, like from what he did, like in the house where you could jam.
No, that was maybe like he played in maybe '76.
Oh
so
shit!
Then that was
the year I was born.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he went into the Army and all that after that. And,
okay.
So, but yeah, it took maybe a couple of years of playing on just buckets, how I thought a drum set should be set up.
Sure.
So that's what I did, and then they felt so bad for me. My first kit was a like a Luan Sears like '60s Blue Sparkle kit.
Oh wow!
Paid $60.
$60? How much did it cost to make that motherfucker if
Yeah,
you could buy it for $60?
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, to me, it was awesome. So it was.
That's incredible.
It was good. Yeah.
Did you have it set up in the house?
Yes.
You did.
Yeah.
Wow. So your parents, they were willing to invest in it and let you go for it then, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there were certain times they didn't want stuff going on, but like it was like immediately get home from school, and then I knew there were times they got off work, and so I would just beat away like to. I taught myself. My dad was just pretty much out of it.
Right.
He showed me a little stuff, but it was mainly just headphones and then like 96 Rock, which is like Atlanta's station back then, and I would just play
just classic rock stuff.
Yeah, just classic rock, and I would just play whatever I heard or try to keep up.
Uh-huh.
Mainly Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Edgar Winter.
That song is fucking badass.
It's fun to jam on.
Did you try to do the whole middle section with all the tom fills?
I tried it all.
Yeah.
Why not? I'm like
in
this little box room, and nobody's watching or listening.
Right.
So.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, that's mainly how I started and learned, and I was basically just like a Zeppelin kind of dude for a long time, and then from there, like I would get super into Frank Zappa. I skipped the whole '90s because of Frank Zappa.
Dude, you were immersed in Zappa through the '90s.
Oh yeah.
Here we are. Chris Cornell died yesterday. I'm like getting teary-eyed and freaking out and being all sad and depressed. And then you floated through the '90s with Zappa.
Yeah,
that's
I didn't
bizarre
really
as fuck.
Listen to much '90s music at all, and
that's hilarious. Really?
No, not really. Yeah, so I was like a huge Primus nerd. Like technical stuff, like I see, like Tim Alexander is in my top 5.
Oh yeah. I mean, so then you were listening to some of the '90s stuff because they were a '90s band.
Yeah, but it was only Primus.
Right.
Everybody else is just like, meh, you're not
grunge,
Primus.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Nirvana, all that shit. Whatever. I'm into Zappa and Primus.
Yeah. So I was totally, Zappa. I was on that train for a long, long, long time.
What are some of your favorite Zappa records?
I mean, Dad, he's all like always right there, like telling me this is the way you got to go. This is what you should start with.
What did he steer you with? Because that's such a vast catalog.
It was like Apostrophe and Overnight Sensation.
Oh, that's the shit.
Yeah. So and then on the strictly commercial, and then Weasel Ripped My Flesh.
Yeah.
And then
One Size Fits All came around. Apostrophe, Overnight Sensation.
Yeah.
I love the. I don't know if you got into it or not. The Live at the Roxy and Elsewhere record.
I have that record, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
When I heard that, because I knew of Mr. Bungle prior to that, and then when I heard that, I was like the song Cheapness off of that record is so incredible.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, that song alone inspired like multiple records from Mr. Bungle. This is like the prototype for this shit.
Yeah, it was always kind of like a little weird for me because nobody else I went to school
No,
with. Nobody.
Dude, and chicks hate it like all the time. I've never played it for a chick that liked it. Chicks don't like. Well, let me tell you, chicks don't like Zappa.
Yeah. But yeah, it was weird because being, like 13, 14, and I can remember just like dozing off to like Lumpy Gravy. You can just chill through that whole record. And I was like, man, I'm probably the only dude in the state, like, this age doing this right now.
Oh,
but it was
pretty likely, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, so, that, and then what was the double one with King Kong on it? You remember
I don't know
that
if I know that one. Dude, he's, such a prolific writer, arguably the most prolific musician of all time.
Right.
I mean, there is literally...
Genius.
It's insanity. And... the complexity in which each album had, and then being a savant to the extent that like he taught himself by going to the library how to read music, and then the next thing you know, he's hearing it all in his head and he's composing it and orchestrating it and conducting it. And it's like, and then when you look at the body of work, there's literally a dude that I heard on a podcast, which is really cool. He is the vault master to the Zappa family. So that's all the video, audio, everything, and it's so vast. There's a dude that has a job to look after this shit.
Oh, jeez.
Do you realize how extensive that must be?
So I can't do stuff like that. I'm not a very tedious guy.
No.
So if I can't bang it with a stick or a hammer, I just move on.
Gotcha. Is that what originally struck you, the cathartic and or physical nature of playing drums? That's something that resonated with you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it just when I first saw it, I was just the sound, and then mainly, and then just the action that you're just getting to.
Absolutely.
You're just beating it out,
Oh man, I was born on the 4th of July, so I love explosions. I love fireworks. To just like physically beat something, an inanimate object that makes awesome sound. I was sold immediately.
Yeah, and it's a giant world, I mean, there's different types of things you can like drums for, and I get into drum sounds and stuff like that, especially on certain records. I can listen to a record and go, oh, man, that drum sound is just ridiculous. Even sometimes I'll get a little techno. I go, I just want my drum set to sound like a drum set.
Right.
Which is rare.
Right.
Like,
right.
And weird.
In the world of triggers and sound replacement and everything else that can happen in a studio and even live.
That's why I don't listen to stuff from the 80s either. Right. I don't 80s, 90s. I just, like, 80s, everything went plastic and synthetic, and I just... Even your favorite bands did some terrible things in the 80s.
Oh, yeah, they did some shitty stuff, for sure.
Yeah, so you just look the other way, but, I love drum sounds, especially like the Beatles' White Album.
Oh, it's
you really
incredible.
Listen to those, like,
it's crazy.
Those drums and it's crazy how they got that.
It's good shit. I don't know. I mean, I guess, this was more late 70s, but a guy that I don't hear many people talk about so much. Did you ever get into the Rainbow records with Ronnie James Dio and Richie Blackmore from Deep Purple?
I've heard of them, but I haven't.
Dude, check that out for some of the live drum sounds. It's very kind of Bonham-esque, real super live. You can hear the tone of every bass drum note.
Right.
And Cozy Powell was playing drums on that, and it's fucking badass, man.
Yeah, I'll check into that.
Like Rainbow Rising, check out Rainbow Rising.
Right.
It's, It fucking rules.
I'll do that.
Tell me about, this is one thing that I've talked to some guys about, and I know we're jumping around, learning like previously existing drum parts. And one of the conversations that I had with you a long time ago, you probably don't remember it, was one of the first shows you played, I think, when you were touring with Whores. I said to you, I said, man, great job keeping those songs slow, because playing slow is a challenge.
Right.
And so was that something that you felt when you in addition to kind of learning pre-existing material and having like to me that's pretty slow.
Yeah, for
tempos.
sure. I mean, it's a whole nother technique. It's not like playing off of momentum, where you can throw your hands around with and stay with the speed, but slowing it down, you're playing with the pocket, and you get it was a little challenging for me, but also too, I was playing somebody else's stuff. You got to adjust to that. So yeah, when I first got in, it was a little tricky to kind of slow, like downshift to that. But think I'm doing okay with it.
Oh, you absolutely are, man. I think it sounds
it enough now. I think I'll get it.
I think you got it as far as I can tell. In those slower tempos as well, sometimes fills become kind of part of the lick as well, or of the part, I guess. Did you find that you were like, there were some fills obviously as well, you're like, because I hear you play some of those, I feel like.
Well, from the stuff that was already there when I joined, I keep it exactly how it is. There may be one or two little flams or flubs that I throw in,
right.
but I don't really change it. Like, it works how it is, so I just keep it how it is. Newer stuff, I mess around a little bit, but not too much, because I know where it started, and I know where it needs to end up.
Exactly.
So I don't go and try to do something I would normally do, or I know how to, keep it slim, keep it fat and slow and straight ahead. So just gotta. That's what I do now.
Nice, man. You sound like you're originally from Atlanta, Georgia area?
Yeah, I'm about an hour outside, so I'm exactly halfway in between Athens and Atlanta.
Oh, cool, man.
So right in between those two cities.
Are you a sports fan? Are you a Falcons fan?
No.
Okay, because as a Saints fan, that's my rival team. But
no, I don't watch sports. I'll do like women's beach volleyball. Like I'll
really,
watch
that's
that.
hilarious.
Like I love watching that, and then I don't really. Yeah, there's nothing else to really watch. That's about it.
What was it like growing up? I mean, was it fairly like rural where you grew up?
Oh yeah,
nice
country.
I hear you.
I grew up on a farm and just a small town. Cities, yeah. I like the woods, mountains.
Me too.
Stuff like that. When we're on the road and we're in cities all the time and we're driving on concrete and we're walking on pavement, and sometimes if I see a patch of grass and it's right beside the sidewalk, I'll walk in the grass because I'm so tired of walking on concrete. I don't know how people stay like in. I can't do it. It's not.
I had a really kind of almost diametrically opposed like childhood growing up. Like my dad had camps out in the swamps of southeast Louisiana, and then he moved when we were really young. When I was young, like an hour north of New Orleans. So he just totally out in the country. Right. And then my mom like still lived in the city in New Orleans. So I kind of had all of these weird environments that I grew up in, but I still default. And it's really crazy for me because whether I lived in the city or lived in Brooklyn, I've always been working in Manhattan. Right. So every day, like 5 days a week, I'm still in that. And trust me, if you did that shit, I can only imagine. It was a fucking major adjustment for me. I was like, there's all these crazy smelly fucks. Like I got to be around them. I got to see. I got to someone's always asking for something. It's just such a bombardment of your senses.
First time I ever come to New York, it was, like shocking. When me and Casey's old band, we come in, and the first thing I said, we're coming in the van, and it wasn't too far after 9/11, and we had the van, we had the trailer, and we're coming to New York, and I was like, I wonder if it'll be a stereotypical, like in the movies,
right?
And then the first thing we pull up to go down a tunnel, and the cop comes up, he's got the big leather, what have you, uniform, and he flashes the light in the van. And he goes, "Hey, you guys in a band or something?" And I was like, "Success, yes it is. Yes, we'll turn around and go the other way."
Oh shit!
But yeah, that was when we first got here. Was all of it was like, oh Jesus, like what's going on? So crazy.
Wow.
So and we were here for like a couple of days, and then I was like, 3 days my max. I gotta leave. Oh, I want to leave. I just can't take it. So, cities.
Dude, I'm with you, man. It's I've said it before. It's kind of like an all too often reminder of just like there are way too many people in this world, and a lot of them kind of suck. I hate to sound like a pessimist, but it's just like I need some space. I want to not hear fucking people yelling at each other and cars and all that shit.
Yeah.
So I think at my core, I am too as well, sort of a country boy, or I'm just so sick of humanity that I need to be out in the woods by myself.
Yeah. Well,
so
I think it's humans aren't meant for that kind of stress. The body's not like built for, even though they're, I'm sure they got down their routines and stuff like that. It's just, you start losing a little bit and everybody turns into animals.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. revert back to their primal nature in an urban setting somehow.
Right, exactly.
It's crazy. So I guess once you started playing in bands, did you stay in the area kind of where you grew up and then started playing in bands, or did you move to Atlanta like at some
I always
point?
had to come downtown.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Casey have been playing together since we were 13, 14.
Casey, the bass player?
Yeah, Casey.
Nice.
So we've always been in bands, and then yeah, I mean we did stuff out there, but then it come time to level up or something. None of the city kids want to come out of the city.
Right.
That's rule number one.
Exactly.
That's where they feel safe and all
Exactly.
that. So we had to go down there and play wherever they practice at. Pay a lot of money just to run through some songs.
Right.
So yeah, we had to go to the city.
Yeah.
Just to play, but we did shows there, and then we kind of built our own thing, and we did it. We started touring like right after high school.
So have you been touring for quite some time then, I guess, since you started really like playing and getting out and doing your thing?
Yeah, like right after high school, and then we were in a band for 6 years. We toured for 6 years, and then we come home. I have 2 kids. Like I still do the family thing, of course.
That's
but,
incredible.
I mean, it's, and then Christian had some. He asked me to come play in horrors, so I was like, yeah, I'm down. I'll
Nice.
do that.
What was the band that you and Casey played in prior?
It was the Letters Organized.
Letters Organized?
Mhm.
Cool. What kind of,
Yeah.
was it similar stuff or what?
No, not at all. It was like Hives, Refused, real rock and roll kind of stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah. There's stuff I'm like really into as well.
Yeah.
We were on Nitro for a while, and
Okay.
it was just a little band trying it, kids. And
I got to
then-
look y'all up, man. That
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
like
yeah.
some shit right up my alley.
Yeah, it's spastic kind of stuff.
I love it.
But yeah, we did that for a while, and then Horse needed a bass player, and Casey wasn't doing anything. I was like, Casey can rip a guitar.
Yeah.
Like he can
Oh,
rip
yeah?
a guitar. Yeah, he's like little Angus Young.
Really?
That's all he's ever done. But I was like, come play bass. And he was like, meh, all right, whatever. So, so yeah, we've been together for a long time.
That's killer, man. Has it been, I would imagine, a challenge as someone who is touring with a family, the balancing act of all that?
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder.
I'm sure.
When I first started playing, I filled in a couple shows when Horror's last drummer couldn't do some shows, and my first one was little bitty, so he didn't really know the difference between a week and a month, and
Right, exactly.
So I was only gone for a few days, and it was fine. And then he was maybe, I guess, 3-ish when I did the first month tour. It was okay. He still didn't know, but now there's like signs that's right before I left for this tour. I just got back from Europe, and I was zipping up my suitcase, and both of my zipper pulls broke. And my kid looks at me and goes, "Well, I guess you can't go now, Dad."
You're like,
Yeah. So it's like little comments, but
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough doing it the older they get. I have a 2-year-old, and he's like a little juggernaut, so he doesn't, he doesn't really know
Right.
yet. So
At least in the age of technology, via your cell phone, you can still see them via FaceTime or whatever app you decide to use, so you can at least still have some interpersonal, seemingly, communication with them.
Yeah, that's a tough one too. And I mean, somebody else in another band may be able to relate, but sometimes when you leave and they're getting older, they don't want to talk to you on FaceTime.
Really?
Yeah. And another good guy I know in a band told me one time that his son did that to him, and I guess his son had said whenever they talk to him on FaceTime, it just reminds them that we're not there.
Oh, really?
They'll just kind of, hey, I don't want to.
Really?
Hey, Dad, bye, Dad.
Really?
Kind of thing. Yeah.
That's interesting, because I feel like the younger generation, or like millennials in general, have gotten so out of touch with like interpersonal communication that I would think that sort of that is exactly like that would make complete sense, via texting and everything or whatever.
I kind of shut all that down in my house. I don't.
Yeah.
Social media is good for no one. I mean, it may help you with certain aspects of things you want to do, but
Promoting oneself.
Yeah, it's self-promotion. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the world we live in, though.
It is. It is. It's a drag, but it is a separate world, and I think sometimes people get those confused as to what the real world is and what their reality is. And
they do. Yeah, they just don't pay attention to anyone, you know, but themselves.
Right.
Whether they're posting a video or something, it's look at me,
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
kind of thing. And I keep that away from the kids and just because I hear these stories from other dads I know, and their kids at school are going through horrible things they shouldn't be at that age because of
that access.
That access. I'm like, really, your kid's so young to have those kind of issues, and it's, I don't know, it's not a good thing. It doesn't sound like a good thing.
No.
So I'm just gonna say it's not a good thing.
I'm with you, man. Speaking of touring, I know y'all did an awesome run with Red Fang and Torch, which I caught y'all for a couple gigs on.
Yeah.
How was that tour? I think a great lineup of 3 bands that kind of have some like-mindedness, I feel you know.
Yeah, that was the general consensus, especially like fans walking up. They're like, man, this bill is so awesome, you know.
Yeah,
and
that's
every band
can't
on the
miss
bill was completely solid. So that tour is great. All the dudes on that tour are great. Anytime we go out with Red Fang, it's always an honor. These dudes are the raddest dudes ever.
Yeah.
Torch is our new homie. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Everybody on that tour is rad. So really good tour.
Sweet.
No complaints at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
No bad times. I mean, everything went smoothly.
All the shows seemed like they were lined up well.
Every single show, yeah.
That's killer,
like
man.
a perfect tour, like a perfect storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, obviously, if you'd been touring for some time, you know how shitty it can get. So that certainly makes you appreciate it when it's good, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, when you're younger, you make different decisions. You don't even make any decisions. You just like get in the van and
just
go.
going for it. You don't give a fuck. You have no foresight, no hindsight.
I've come home 15 to 20 pounds lighter before. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I've seen some stuff.
What's the worst show that you feel like you've ever played?
Worst show? I mean, besides playing to absolutely no one.
Or a weird show, one that strikes out where you or just sticks out where you're like, what the fuck was going on?
I've been booed on stage before. I've had beer bottles thrown. Me and Casey's old band, we did a tour with the Offspring. So we're nothing like them. We did a European tour with them, and we were playing like 5,000 to 7,000 people a night.
Wow.
And if you can imagine that many people chanting next band
whoa!
through your whole set.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So I guess that's like weird and kind of, you just realize what kind of fans are there, and you're just, okay, I understand you know, but it's a 3-band bill and they're gonna come out,
right?
You know, so just get your money's worth. But I guess that's like the worst, and we did like maybe a week and a half with them.
Wow.
5,000 to 7,000 people a show. Didn't sell one piece of merch.
No way.
Yeah. So
holy shit.
But we would do small shows in between
right.
in Europe and just murder the whole room. Like
that's
it would
killer.
Just be a massacre. So it was like morale down, morale up,
oh.
morale down, morale. It's gonna
a
be
seesaw
okay.
effect.
Oh no, it's
oh.
terrible. Yeah. Yeah. So that's like kind of the weirdest.
That's impressive. That's a great story.
Yeah.
That's a good one. What about the European tour that y'all just came off with Whores? I know y'all went out there.
Yeah, we went out with Big Business, and really good tour. Once again, I mean, we're kind of, I guess, hitting a stride or plowing the field or whatever you want to call it.
I like both analogies, by the way.
Yeah, so we're that was a great tour. No hiccups at all, except for, well, maybe Madrid, I think it was. For the DB limits over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have DB limits.
Whoa.
Like Italy, France, Switzerland kind of thing.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're like actual meters, and there's laws that will go straight to the cop shop, and then if it hits over 105, I think it was, they'll shut the whole PA down.
And y'all play with stage volume, so, and just volume in general.
Yeah,
so
but Dave, our sound guy that was with us, he was able to work with people, and like we did it. We did it. But there was only one incident where it went bad, and we kind of had to move a show.
Really?
It was not a country law. It was the manager's law.
That seems subjective and strange.
Yeah, it was. It was just bad from the get-go. So we moved it, and it was fine.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the only little like
Right.
But other than only having one day off, it was. I mean, we kind of wanted to see sights. You know, people were like, "Send us pics, send us pics." I was like, "Why? You ever seen a road? That's what we look at all day." But yeah, it was really good.
If you had some time off, was there any place in particular that you really enjoyed either playing and or seeing or hanging out or whatever? Was there any particular country?
Well, yeah. We were in Cologne, Germany, and we on our day off we did get to go see the Dom Church,
Cool.
which is ridiculously huge.
Yeah.
And really old. So we got to do that. So I really liked that. And Berlin was a really good show, and I really liked that town. So those two are like sticking out.
Yeah.
We did get to stop off in Switzerland, do some fondue and cheese and
Nice.
rolling hills and a little bit of snow, that kind of movie stuff.
Cool.
But yeah, I guess those three, those are sticking out.
We talked about a little bit earlier how sarcasm sort of falls upon deaf ears amongst the Germans. That was probably your experience to some degree a little bit while you were there.
Well, I was thinking about that when you said that. Yeah, I mean, I could see a dry sense of just, but we only go to the club.
Right, exactly.
And everybody there is super nice, you know, and
Right.
you don't really get the whole, like, if
Sure.
you were there for a few days and
Exactly.
you're having so many interactions. So,
Right.
But I mean, I'd heard that before you had asked me. The sense of humor or the sarcasm thing was non-existent, and I was waiting for it, and I was like, "Oh man, none of my jokes are gonna work," you know, when I get there. So, but it was fine. We only went. We go straight to the club, and then we play,
Yeah,
and then we go to the
exactly.
hotel, and then
Right.
same thing every day.
You don't really get a sense of how
like-
necessarily the culture
Yeah.
works beyond just whatever show you play and whoever you interact with at that venue.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Much.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I wish it was more. You know,
Sure.
I want to see these things.
Time doesn't
but-
allot for it, though. Well, God, I think we covered most of the stuff, man. Congratulations on Gold. I think it's a great record. What else do y'all have going forward? Any particular plans?
Right now, we have some stuff set up when we get back. I think a couple weeks after we get home from this, we're doing the Chicago Open Air, which
Okay.
is posted up. So we're going to tour up to that and back, and then we're doing the Bash 17 with Melvins and Mudhoney right after that.
Awesome.
But I think after that, there's not much set up. I mean, we'd like some main support stuff or something like that. But I think we're going to try to work on a new record for, you know, whatever time we have left in the year.
Killer.
And next year, so maybe we can top what we just did.
I think y'all can do it, man. Well, Donnie, thanks for sitting down with me, my man. It was great talking to you. Good luck on the road. Good luck with future endeavors and all that good shit.
Yeah, no worries. Thank
High
you so
fives,
much,
man.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks a lot to Donnie for taking the time to talk to me. Whore's new record, Gold, is out and in stores and everywhere. I got plenty of links to where you can find it. And be sure to try to catch them on this tour with Wrong and Bummer. It's a hell of a lineup. Great shows. Check them out. Stick around for Ghost Trash off the Whore's album, Gold, that I was just mentioning. It's badass. Get it, y'all. Crash, bang, boom.